Something huge is happening, the air is thick with anticipation, and the media is buzzing with speculation. Reporters from around the globe have descended upon Mar-A-Lago, hoping to catch a glimpse of the unfolding events. The atmosphere is electric, charged with the promise of something monumental. The deep state is terrified. Whispers of clandestine meetings and covert operations have sent shockwaves through the corridors of power. The usual puppeteers are losing their grip, and the shadowy figures who operate behind the scenes are scrambling to maintain control. The stakes have never been higher. Why? Donald Trump is hosting secret peace talks at Mar-A-Lago. This luxurious estate, known for its opulence and grandeur, has become the epicenter of a potential global shift. The former president, known for his unorthodox approach and bold decisions, has taken it upon himself to broker peace in a world fraught with tension. World leaders, hidden from the prying eyes of the fake news media, are meeting. These high-stakes discussions are shrouded in secrecy, away from the relentless scrutiny of the press. The leaders of nations, each with their own agendas and concerns, have come together in a bid to find common ground. The future of international relations hangs in the balance. They know Trump is the only one who can bring peace. His reputation as a dealmaker precedes him, and his ability to navigate complex negotiations is unparalleled. The world leaders recognize that Trump's unique perspective and fearless approach might be the key to resolving long-standing conflicts. He doesn't play by their rules. Trump's defiance of conventional political norms has always set him apart. He speaks his mind, unfiltered and unapologetic, challenging the status quo at every turn. This unyielding spirit is what makes him a formidable force in the realm of diplomacy. He sees through their lies. The globalists are shaking. The political landscape is rife with tension, and the traditional power brokers are feeling the heat. Trump's ability to cut through the facade and expose the underlying truths has left many in the global elite unsettled. The old guard is being challenged like never before. Their grip on power is weakening. These talks are critical. The balance of power is shifting, and the outcome of these secret discussions could redefine the global order. Every move is calculated, every word weighed carefully. The stakes are immense, and the world watches with bated breath. The fate of the world hangs in the balance. From the geopolitical hotspots to the economic powerhouses, the ripple effects of these talks will be felt far and wide. The decisions made within the walls of Mar-A-Lago could either usher in a new era of peace or plunge the world into deeper turmoil. Trump is a master negotiator. His track record in business and politics speaks volumes about his ability to strike deals that others deem impossible. His strategic mind and relentless drive make him a formidable player in the high-stakes game of international diplomacy. He understands the art of the deal. Trump's philosophy, honed over decades in the cutthroat world of real estate and politics, is all about finding the win-win scenario. He knows that true success lies in creating agreements that benefit all parties involved, and he's determined to apply this principle to the global stage. He knows how to cut through the BS and get to the heart of the matter. Will he succeed? Trump's no-nonsense approach and keen insight allow him to bypass the usual diplomatic red tape. He zeroes in on the core issues, pushing past the superficial to address the real problems. The question remains, can he overcome the immense challenges and deliver on his promise of peace? The odds are stacked against him, but never underestimate Donald J. Trump. Throughout his career, Trump has faced countless obstacles and emerged victorious time and again. His resilience and tenacity are legendary, and his supporters believe that he has what it takes to defy the odds once more. As the world watches, one thing is certain: the outcome of these secret talks at Mar-A-Lago will be nothing short of historic. They called him a madman. They said his ideas were outlandish, his approach too brash, and his demeanor too unpredictable. The media had a field day, painting him as a caricature of a leader, someone who could never be taken seriously on the world stage. They mocked his every move, his every word, and his every gesture. They said he was unstable. Headlines screamed about his supposed incompetence, and pundits debated his mental fitness. Critics from all sides questioned his ability to lead, to make rational decisions, and to handle the pressures of the presidency. They whispered about chaos and instability, predicting doom and disaster at every turn. They laughed when he said he'd bring peace to the Middle East. They scoffed at the notion, dismissing it as another one of his impossible promises. But as the months turned into years, the laughter began to fade. Who's laughing now? The world watched in astonishment as historic agreements were signed, as old enemies sat down at the negotiating table. and as a new era of diplomacy began to take shape. The deep state, the globalists, the swamp creatures, they never thought he could do it. They underestimated his resolve, his tenacity, and his willingness to challenge the status quo. They thought they could outmaneuver him, outlast him, and ultimately outplay him. But they were wrong. He was not just another politician, he was a disruptor. A force that could not be contained by the usual rules of the game. Trump doesn't care about their approval. He never has, and he never will. His focus has always been on the bigger picture, on the goals that truly matter. He is driven by a vision of a stronger, more independent America. One that stands tall on the world stage and refuses to be bullied or coerced. He doesn't need their permission. He acts decisively, with a clarity of purpose that leaves his opponents scrambling. Whether it's signing executive orders, negotiating trade deals, or making bold foreign policy moves, he does so with the confidence of someone who knows exactly what he wants to achieve. He is a force of nature, a disruptor, a true American patriot. Trump's methods are unorthodox. He doesn't follow the script, and he doesn't play by the rules that have long governed Washington. His approach is direct, sometimes abrasive, but always with the aim of shaking things up and getting results. He connects with his supporters on a visceral level, speaking their language and championing their causes. He doesn't bow to the globalist order. He stands firm in his convictions, even when it means standing alone. At international summits, he is unapologetically assertive, challenging the status quo and demanding fair treatment for America. His defiance is not just a show. It is a statement of intent, a declaration that he will not be swayed by the pressures of global politics. He doesn't play their rigged game. He sees through the facade, the pretense of diplomacy that often masks ulterior motives. He is not interested in maintaining appearances or adhering to unwritten rules that benefit the few at the expense of the many. His focus is on breaking down barriers, challenging the entrenched interests, and forging a new path forward. He sees through their facade of diplomacy. He understands that true leadership requires more than just words. It requires action, courage, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. He is not afraid to call out hypocrisy, to question long-standing assumptions, and to demand accountability from those who have long operated in the shadows. He knows they only understand strength. In a world where power dynamics are constantly shifting, he recognizes that strength is the only language that some understand. He projects confidence and determination, whether it's in dealings with foreign adversaries or in standing up to domestic critics. His message is clear: America will not be pushed around. The globalists are terrified because Trump is exposing their weakness. He is pulling back the curtain, revealing the vulnerabilities and contradictions that have long been hidden. His boldness is unsettling to those who have grown comfortable with the old ways of doing things. But for many, it is a breath of fresh air, a sign that real change is possible, and that the future can be different from the past. The globalists are a cancer. They operate in the shadows, pulling strings, manipulating events to their advantage. They want open borders, a one-world government, and total control. They crave power and they'll stop at nothing to get it. They hate Trump because he stands in their way. He is a threat to their very existence. They are desperate to sabotage these peace talks. Why? Because peace would destroy their control. They thrive on chaos and conflict. They need war to maintain their grip on power. Be on high alert. The globalists are masters of deception. They stage events to manipulate public opinion. They are capable of anything. False flag attacks are their specialty. A bombing, an assassination, a staged chemical attack. Don't put it past them. They want to blame Trump. They want to derail the peace talks. They want to maintain their control. We must be vigilant. We must see through their lies. Section 5. The media's malicious dance. In today's world, the media holds an unprecedented amount of power. They have the ability to shape public opinion, influence elections, and even sway the course of history. But with great power comes great responsibility, and unfortunately, the mainstream media has often failed to live up to this responsibility. The mainstream media is the enemy of the people. This sentiment is not just a baseless accusation, it is a reflection of the growing distrust that many people feel towards the media. From biased reporting to outright lies, the media has shown time and again that they are more interested in pushing their own agenda than in reporting the truth. They are complicit in this globalist agenda. The media often works hand in hand with powerful political and corporate interests to promote a globalist agenda that benefits the few at the expense of the many. This agenda is often hidden behind a facade of impartiality and objectivity, but the truth is that the media is far from neutral. They spread lies and propaganda. Whether it's through sensationalist headlines, selective reporting, or outright fabrications, the media has shown that they are willing to do whatever it takes to push their narrative. This has led to a situation where the public can no longer trust what they see and hear in the news. They twist the narrative to fit the globalist agenda. By selectively reporting on certain events and ignoring others, the media is able to shape the public's perception of reality. This manipulation of information is a powerful tool that allows the media to control the narrative and push their agenda. They are nothing but puppets, dancing to the tune of their globalist masters. The media is often controlled by a small group of powerful individuals and organizations who use their influence to push their own agenda. This means that the news we see and hear is often not a reflection of reality, but rather a carefully crafted narrative, designed to serve the interests of the powerful. Don't believe a word they say. It is important to approach the news with a healthy dose of skepticism. Just because something is reported in the media does not mean that it is true. We must be critical of the information we consume and always question the motives behind it. They are trying to discredit Trump. The media has often been accused of having a bias against certain political figures, and Donald Trump is a prime example of this. From the moment he announced his candidacy, the media has been relentless in their efforts to discredit him and his supporters. They are trying to sabotage the peace talks. The media's bias is not limited to domestic politics. They have also been accused of undermining international efforts to achieve peace. By selectively reporting on certain events and ignoring others, the media is able to shape the public's perception of international affairs and push their own agenda. They are trying to keep you in the dark. The media often withholds important information from the public, choosing instead to focus on sensationalist stories that generate ratings. This means that the public is often left in the dark about important issues that affect their lives. We must turn to independent sources of information. In order to get a more accurate picture of what is happening in the world, it is important to seek out independent sources of information. These sources are often not beholden to the same powerful interests as the mainstream media, and are therefore more likely to report the truth. We must seek the truth. In a world where the media is often more interested in pushing their own agenda than in reporting the truth, it is up to us to seek out the truth for ourselves. By being critical of the information we consume and seeking out independent sources of information, we can get a more accurate picture of what is happening in the world. Section 6. A world on the brink. The world is at a crossroads. We are on the brink of either unprecedented peace or unimaginable chaos. The globalists are playing a dangerous game. They are risking global war to maintain their power. They are willing to sacrifice millions of lives to achieve their twisted vision. We cannot let them win. We must stand with Trump. We must fight for peace and freedom. Section 7. Trump, a beacon of hope. In these dark times, Donald Trump is a beacon of hope. He is a fighter. He is a patriot. He loves this country, and he is fighting for its survival. He knows the truth about the globalist threat. He is the only one who can stop them. He needs our support. He needs our prayers. We must stand with him in this fight. Section 8. The fight for freedom. This is not just about peace in the Middle East. This is about the future of freedom. The globalists want to enslave us all. They want to control every aspect of our lives. They want to destroy our freedoms and liberties. We must resist. We must fight back. We must expose their lies. Section 9. The stakes have never been higher. We are at war. A war for our minds. A war for our freedom. A war for our very survival. The stakes have never been higher. The future of humanity hangs in the balance. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and never, ever give up hope.